So hello everyone, I am Sudipra Adhikari and my university ID is 2022820 and I'm here to demonstrate my software for the final assessment in Python. So let us begin with the entity relationship diagram. So in my case, I have four tables which are customer, trip booking, driver and admin table. And my customer table has various columns like customer ID, name, address, phone number, email, password, and credit information. And in this table, phone number and credit information are unique, so it cannot match with any other customer in this table. And similarly, pre-booking table has various columns like booking ID, pickup date, pickup time, pickup address, drop-off address, booking date, booking status, and I have used two foreign key in this table which are customer ID and driver ID. And in driver table there are various columns like driver ID, driver name, phone number, date of birth, email address, passport, license plate, gender, and the driver status if he is available or not at the moment. And in this table as well I have used phone number and license plate as the unique key, so it cannot match with any other driver in this table. And I have used admin table to store the admin credential information, and I have used the cardinality between customer and pre-booking as one to many because a customer could exist without making any bookings, but booking cannot exist without customer, and a customer could make many bookings. And the cardinality between driver and trip is driver can exist without being as any trip, zero or many bookings. So that's all for the entity relationship diagram. And moving on to the class diagram. So in case of the class diagram, I have used the object oriented approach to achieve my objective. So I have classes. So there are various classes, and as you can see, I haven't shared the login page with any other user to improve my security of this software. So the one user cannot guess the credential of other user. So I have used the different login page for different user. So as you can see, there is a dependency between the company class and login. And similarly for the another interface, which is staff interface, is dependent upon the staff login. And as you can see, there is a general association with staff registration and staff login page. So there is no dependency between them. So that's all for the class diagram. And so this is the fifth level diagram. So as we were already provided with the C level diagram, we have to create the fifth level diagram or level below it, which is fifth level diagram. And there are three user role or the actor, which are customer, taxi driver, and the taxi company. And customer can register by providing the required information like providing the name, address, and various other information. And customer can book a trip by entering the various details required by the software like pickup date, pickup address, pickup time, etc. And customer can view the trips booked by them, and they can update any booking if they want, and they can also cancel the booking in case they want to cancel their trip. And taxi driver can view the bookings assigned to them by the taxi company or the administrator, and they can also mark the trips as completed after the trip is completed. And taxi company will assign the trip made by the customer, and taxi company can also view the customer and the driver details, and they can contact the customer or driver from the phone number that they have entered while registering themselves into the system. So let's move on to the software part. So let me start the Visual Studio, which is my IDE for this project. And let us start from the customer. So the starting page for the customer is login page, from where a customer can register and log in into the system. So first of all, let's create an account for the customer. Let's give it a name like customer test address. Customer. So there is an error message which says enter a valid email address. So we need to enter an valid email address. And it says that phone number, credit card, or the email address cannot be repeated. As I have already showed you, they are the unique column. So, as you can see, registered successfully. So this user is registered. Now this user can log in into the system. And if we provide an wrong credential, then it will say user not found. So this is the customer interface. On the top left corner, you can see the current date, and on the top right corner, you can see the logout option. And there is a search bar where a customer can search for the trip with their booking ID. And this is a table, and as you can see, the table is empty because the customer has just registered and there are no trip booked yet. So let's book a trip. And if we try to book a trip from the past, like yesterday or day before yesterday, so there is an invalid error message. Only upcoming dates are acceptable, so the past date are not acceptable. So it says that the booking has been added successfully, and you can see the booking has been listed in the table, and the booking status is pending. Once the administrator assigns this booking to a driver, then we will be able to see the driver name and the driver contact number, and the booking will be updated to booked. And we can also click on this record and update if we want to do any changes. So the booking has been updated successfully, and we can also cancel the booking if you want to. Do you want to delete? Yes. And the booking has been cancelled successfully. And we can also search the record by booking ID, and we can go back by clearing the search field. So now let's move on towards the administrative user interface. For the administrator, there is no register option, and the default username or the password is admin. So this is the homepage of the administrator. On the top left corner there is a current date, and on the top right corner there is an logout button, and there are three options from where an administrator could assign a driver, view customer, and view driver list. So let's move on towards the assigned driver part. So these are all the bookings made by the customer, and we can also view the status of the booking. Some of them are cancelled, some of them are booked, some of them are pending. So we can select the record and we can assign the available drivers, and there are three available drivers at the moment. So let's assign. So the driver has been assigned. Under the driver name column we can see driver 2 has been assigned, and the phone number of the driver 2 has been added. And if we want to cancel any record, then we can do so by clicking on the cancel button. Do you want to cancel? Yes. And the booking has been cancelled successfully. So the booking status has been cancelled. So administrator could cancel the trip or assign a driver. An administrator could also view the list of customers registered into the system. So currently there are 5 customers, and we can search the customer by their name, and we can go back by clearing the search field and clicking on the search. And similarly we can also view the driver. There are 3 drivers at the moment, and we could search the driver with their name and go back by clearing the field, and administrator could log out. So now let's move on towards the driver. So a driver could log in or register. So let's register an account.
Driver 4. And the date of birth.
The record has been successfully added. So while I was doing the presentation, my computer got hanged and I had to force restart it, and when I opened, there was an error that I could not open my MySQL server, and I had to do a lot of research and spend a lot of time. At the end of deadline, and I finally got the problem solved, and I'm able to continue the presentation. So I just wanted to mention that things doesn't go as planned. So this is the driver interface, and on the top left corner you can see the current date and the greeting message from the system, welcome, and the driver name. And on the top right corner we can see the logout option, and there is also a driver status which will show the active or the inactive status of the driver. And as this driver is just registered, there is no trip assigned to this driver. So let me assign some trips to this driver. So once the trip has been assigned to the driver could view all the trips assigned to him, and the driver could also change the status of the driver. If he is unavailable, then he can change it to unavailable, and the driver status turns red, and on clicking on the available, the driver status turns green. And once the driver has completed the trip, and he could select the trip and mark it as completed. So the trip has been marked as completed. And if a driver tried to mark user trips as completed, then it will throw an error message saying cannot mark upcoming trips as completed. And he could also search the trip with customer name. So there are three trips with the name customer. I hope that you liked my software demonstration and my hard work in this software, and hope I will get a good feedback from you. So thank you and have a nice day.